Okay, this is question number 14 as requested from the revision paper, SetA, paper 2, primary 5, maths here. There's this question. It seems like it's just a whole number questions, no ratio, no percentage involved. Now let's take a look at this question, do our first reading. A swimming club had let me just a swimming club had an equal number of male and female members. After 106 female members left the club and 230 male members joined the club, there were 5 times as many male members as female. How many female members were in the club at first? Okay, so there's a story happening, a sequence of events. So, like earlier in the previous question, question number 11, when there is the back of beats and there's a transferring of things going on, you could help yourself by writing down in steps, like sequence of events. Okay, because when there's some change going on at first, in the end. Okay, so that's the idea there. Now let's read again and let's put it into a bit of an annotation here. So at first, it says at first, that means at the beginning, at first, it seems like they were equal. Okay, at first they were equal, meaning equal meaning male and female equal. Then there's some change happening. So the change happening is that some female left and then some male joined. And then after that, there's a change in the relationship, which I think is quite an important relationship. It's 5 times as many male members as female, likely to be at the end of the story. So at first they was the same, but in the end is that the male members is 5 times that of the female. So there's a change in the relationship. Now if I were to look at it in another manner, looking back to how I used to represent whole number questions like this, characters that I have a character such as a bigger number, and then I have a smaller number, and then the key questions of sum and difference. Right? So in many situations, we're actually looking at, because there's some change and the relationship of the two of them. So very often we are actually focusing on the term difference. Now, if you would think about it this way, that if at first they were the same, what can you tell about the difference? If I were to draw a model out, let's say I choose to draw a model out, initially they are equal, so you almost see an equal sign coming out. So what does it tell you about the difference? The difference will be, that means between them, the difference is 0. Okay, then we look at what happens during the change, during the end. So at the end of the event, because there was some change going on, and at the end of it, it was that the males, at the end of it, it was that it had 5 units. Let me draw this more accurately. And then the female had 1 unit. Okay, this is the end. That's at first, then this is the end. And what do you notice about the difference now? Which is here. So at the end, what you can tell about the difference is that, hey, the difference becomes 4 units. That's the difference. So from a difference 0 to become difference 4 unit, then you will say, okay, what happened in between? So likely what happened in between was where the difference came about. So let's take a look at what happened in between. So you have part of the female leaving. Okay, so you have the female leaving. Let me use a different color for that. So a part of the portion leaving. So maybe if I were to cut the model like here, this part 106 left. Like they left the club. They left the club. Okay. And then for the male members, I have a new group that I have a new group that joined. 230 joined. So at the back here I have some extra that join. Okay, oh, a bit too much coloring. Let me do it again. Okay, some join. Okay, if I were to erase these words here, let me just do it here. Okay, I have some join. Okay, so initially the difference was earlier on. I said initially the difference is 0, right? Initially the difference was 0. Okay, then you have this portion that came to join. 230 male joined. So now you have this new part that came in. Now can you see what happened if I were to put these two models together? So can you see this according to the model that is being drawn? You see that okay, at first the difference was 0. Now the difference became 4 units. And this 4 units was the change that happened. That is, part of the girls, the females that left, there was 106. Here, this portion. Okay, if I were to tally this together, okay, right here, this is the part, somewhere here, and then plus the 230 male that joined, that was that difference. So in other words, I can say that 4 units will be equivalent to 336 people, swimmers, okay, members. Okay, so 1 unit will be 336 divided by 4. That will give me 84 members. So this is now 84. Okay, then eventually the question asks for, let's look at the question here. The final question asks how many female members were there at first. So it's the same as asking how many male and how many females at first. They are the same in the first place. So looking at the 84 females at the end, all I need to do is just put back the females, right? So that's the at first. So at first will be the girls at the end. It was 84 plus the girls that left, 106. Add them together, the answer should be 190. So at first it will be female members at first. Okay, so the key concept in this case will be looking at the difference. So if you could identify beginning the difference was 0 and then how it changed and the end up the difference becomes 4 units, you can quickly see using the unitary method and get to the solution. Okay,